So yesterday I got a few messages just from women kind of a bit angry about like the charge for menopause appointments and how it kind of can be ripping women off just because the word menopause is used. And I just want to kind of explore that a bit and tell you how I feel about it. Like I do get you, but just kind of look at it from all angles. So it was in 2021 when this middle-aged man, Joe Duffy from Clontarf, broke the news of menopause or brought it to the forefront and made so many women realise that that's what they were going through. So many women came on his show to talk really openly about their experience and all the symptoms they were going through. And there are so many symptoms. For so many women, they had mood disorders, sleep problems, and they were being treated just with mood tablets and sleeping tablets instead of looking at HRT because we thought HRT was oh so bad. So all of a sudden, the media broke out, it was on the telly, it was on the radio, it was in the newspapers, and all women across Ireland in their 40s and 50s realised this is what's going on with me. How am I going to get help? And they wanted help and they deserved help. So women obviously rushed out to their GPs and asked for help. But the GPs weren't always helpful. And that is because they didn't have the education on menopause. But I've got to defend GPs here, okay? Because we have an interest in our health and what's bothering us. But GPs are like gatekeepers. They also help us with everyday problems such as viruses, rashes, kids' illnesses, blood pressure, weight problems, bowels. Like, how can they be experts in everything? And they were not experts in menopause. And they're still not all experts in menopause. But in fairness to the HSC and the Women's Health Initiative, they said we need to train GPs. So they offered trainee, education platforms just to try and upskill GPs when it comes to menopause. So now, not all, but some and more GPs are more educated and they can help women. And I feel like they can help women when it's quite simple. They start them on a HRT regime, it works for them, happy days, you saw your GP, you're delighted. There are women who unfortunately have experienced breast cancer and they're told they can never take HRT, but they have all the symptoms of menopause and they are often put into a chemical menopause. So we need to help these women, and in the nicest way, a GP is just not skilled enough to do this, so they need to either go to a complex menopause clinic publicly or privately. And not just that breast cancer patients are complex, there are other women that struggle to find the right HRT to suit them. It can be complicated. But not every case is simple, and that's where experts come in, like Deirdre Dundee, like Weeva Hartley. And they run complex menopause clinics now, and they are actually in the public system. Deirdre Lundy is heading up a complex menopause clinic in the National Maternity Hospital, which again is a public service. And we also have the fabulous Weeva Hartley heading up the service in the Rotunda Hospital, again a public service. But with any public service there are wait lists, and there are thousands and thousands of women waiting to be seen, like we see in all areas of healthcare. If you want to go to a consultant for a non-medical emergency, so if it's not a heart attack, a stroke or a cancer, if you go private, you get seen quicker. So whether you're going to an orthopedic consultant for your knee, a spinal doctor, a dermatologist, a women's health expert, a menopause clinic, and you have health insurance or you have the funds, if you go privately, you're going to be seen quicker. And we can look at it two ways. If you go privately, we are taking women off the public waiting lists, okay? Because there are people who can't afford to go privately. They are on a public list for a long time. And if we can get half the people off who are on health insurance, at least we can reduce the public lists. But you do get seen quicker if you can afford to go privately. So to get down to the nitty gritty of it, when you see a consultant, the average fee around Ireland is $250. If you see a GP that has specialised in menopause and has done lots and lots of courses, they will charge more. They run a private clinic, not for their general GP patients. The appointments are longer and they are upskilled, so they are specialists in their field. And if you see a consultant who's working in menopause, they're going to charge consultancy fees. Just like in my clinic, you could see someone like me in the public sector or you could see us privately, and it costs. Our appointments here for your first appointment is an hour long, not a half an hour. So when GPs or consultants see someone for menopause, it's a longer appointment and there's more stuff to do. When you see us privately, it's an hour long session. And we still charge, if you compare it to a regular physio, a little bit more because we are very niche and very expert and skilled in a different way. And that's how it is. I'm sorry.
If you have anything to add, please post in the comments. Don't give out to me.